research teammate, Max. And I want to mention other teammates that were not able to join today: Bianca, Laura, Emily, Marcello. And today we're going to present on our research project, which is looking into how postgraduate students perceive the admission process at LSE. And background and why this is important issue to interrogate. We believe that the inclusive education should begin at the same time as students go through the admission process. So this project analyzes how postgraduate taught students perceive the information they were given by LSE before the degree commenced, and the extent to which these information meets their needs. And this is very important because we want to cater different backgrounds of students. And here we particularly interrogate different backgrounds of students in terms of European Union students, international students, which is the majority of LSE, and home students. And we also look at the difference in students who had work experience and who were just freshly graduated from undergrad. And so these information will be helpful to inform LSE in providing more optimized information they give to the students before they commence the degree. And we hope that this will be useful for both student and the LSE to achieve a higher quality learning experience, because these will help bridge the gaps that are there. And we hope that the students will not have like gaps in expectation after they attend LSE. So the methodology we use is a mixed method, and we run focus group, 2 focus group first from the social policy department and the data science degree students. And then we designed our survey based on this, and our response is 39. So in our survey, we targeted 3 different times during application. We look at the clarity of admission criteria, course information, and workload information. And after receiving the offer from LSE, we look at how the information of course selection and assessment information were delivered. And then after the enrollment, we look at how the students were informed on the course selection and the matching of expectation and satisfaction to the overall degree. And so now Max will talk about our finding and some recommendations.
One second. Here we go. So initially, just overall to summarize, we found in general there was a fairly high degree of satisfaction amongst all the categories. This included the information on admissions and applications, course-specific information, preparedness for studying at LSE and also in the UK, and also across the degree expectations. However, we did find, which is in line with our hypotheses, that those with higher work experience actually tended to be less satisfied with certain aspects of their LSE experience. And yeah, this was kind of across the board, not necessarily increasing with more than 2 years, but anything above a year's work experience we found correlated with higher levels of dissatisfaction. We also found that for the first 2 categories, in relation to citizenship status, we found that there was fairly high satisfaction for the admissions process, the application process, as well as course-specific information. However, we did find that for preparedness for studying in the UK and at LSE, once accepted onto course, there were higher levels of dissatisfaction, particularly amongst overseas students, as you could probably expect. But also, with this was also replicated with fulfillment of the degree expectations, which was we found slightly higher rates of dissatisfaction amongst overseas students. However, it is worth bearing in mind overall that satisfaction generally was more positive than negative, with only sort of around 20% across the categories being in the sort of dissatisfied section. Our key recommendations. So these mainly focused on improving satisfaction generally, with the kind of pre-enrollment process, but also before arriving at LSE. And these focused on, so separate queries from graduate admissions so that students are not afraid to ask questions. This came up in the focus groups, and that sometimes when people were unsure on their information about their courses, they were hesitant to ask questions just so that it didn't jeopardize their application. We also, more specific information on the actual process of course selection after students receive their offers. This is also coming from the focus groups. This was a great aspect of the study, and it was that we found this is related to the dissatisfaction amongst overseas students, and there was we were hoping to sort of create some sort of assistance for overseas students on how the UK university system works, and just kind of a list of UK university terminology and this kind of structures of LSE terms. And and we also thought an idea could also be to prioritize emails coming from students in different time zones, just to as those students can't phone up, basically, and that was for that reason. And then also we have just also another issue that came up in the focus groups was to provide clear information about the prerequisites for specific courses and the targeted skill level for each different course, and as well as offer more courses differentiated by skill level and experience level.